Hi, everybody. This is Jimmy DeYoung with Prophecy Today Video. On this edition of Prophecy Today Video, I'll take a look at how politics has and is playing a key role in the crisis in Egypt. I want to remind you that human government will also affect the future as well as what is happening and unfolding in Egypt at this very moment. Let me also remind you that we have a radio ministry. I have a nationwide live call-in talk program called Prophecy Today, and you can go to our website and hear what our broadcast partners had to say in our team coverage on the crisis in Egypt. We even had opportunity to talk to someone in Cairo itself. This all can be heard at PTRN on our website, prophecytoday.com. For example, with Bob McGinnis in Washington, he said that President Obama, should have private diplomatic actions, not public. We talked with David Dolan in our Middle East News Update. David brought to our attention Israeli leaders are very much concerned about what the American leadership has been doing to push against Hosni Mubarak. They admit that he has done some things wrong, but he's kept peace in the Middle East for 30 years. Ken Timmerman, also in Washington, said that America seems to be backing the Islamist element in this fight in Egypt. And he compared it to what happened in 1979 in Iran when the President Jimmy Carter, assisted in bringing down the Shah of Iran, and an Islamic Republic under Ayatollah Khomeini came to power. Wessam Yosef in Cairo says that whatever happens politically in Egypt, it will affect the people of Egypt, and he, as a Coptic Christian, is very much concerned whatever the outcome will be. Itamar Marcus told us that the Muslim Brotherhood, as they come to power in Egypt, it's only the first stage of what they want to see happen. It's part of a global plan for radical Islam to have a caliphate in place. This is a worldwide kingdom. And I do believe that what is happening in Egypt politically and around the world as it relates to the situation there in Cairo is setting the stage for the prophetic to be fulfilled. Now, that goes without saying, and we make that statement every time we come on the air. We cover the political because it is setting the stage for the prophetic to be fulfilled. Let me remind you of a couple of things. Islam is a political movement as well as a religious movement. The Islamic fundamentalists want to take over every single nation in this world that they can, and they then want to implement an Islamic republic. And what that means is that the law of the land would be Sharia law. That is Islamic law. This implementation of an Islamic republic took place when the Shah fell in Iran and Ayatollah Khomeini came into power. If you look at Hamas in the Gaza Strip, when Hamas came to power in a democratic vote among the body politic of the Palestinian peoples, then they moved to implement a loose range of Islamic law, Sharia law, throughout the Gaza Strip and somewhat of an Islamic republic there in the lower section of the modern-day state of Israel. Using the political arena to conquer the world is Islam's aim to, as I said, go forth and set up a worldwide caliphate, a kingdom. Islam has an eschatology. It's seemingly similar to what the biblical eschatology is, a kingdom yet to come in this world after a period of terrible judgment upon the earth. In fact, you might remember that the president of Iran, Ayatollah Khomeini's frontman, President Ahmadinejad, believes that indeed this is the time of the apocalyptic age. He is the forerunner of the Mahdi. Now in Arabic that means Messiah. He believes that the Messiah, the Mahdi, will come up out of Iran and he will be the 12th Imam. And he will come to power. He will set up a worldwide caliphate. In fact, he says that is going to be headquartered in the city of Jerusalem. With the Iranian element coming alongside the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt and endorsing all that's going on, encouraging them to move forward with the establishment of an Islamic Republic, we can see this plan moving into effect. What is also very interesting is the biblical aspect of this, everything that's unfolding. Human government actually was established by God way back in Genesis chapter 9 and verse 46. That was 4,500 years ago when the nations started to come into existence. He gave them human government in order to guide and direct their movements. You know, the Lord has used down through history human government to accomplish His will. With the Egyptians, they took the Jewish people into bondage for over 400 years. That was fulfilling the promise that Abraham was given by his appearance in time with Jesus Christ, a pre-incarnate appearance. There in Genesis chapter 15, where it says, for over 400 years you will be living in a foreign land under foreigners. Remember the Babylonian captivity? Nebuchadnezzar took the Jewish people out of the land to fulfill the command to rest the land for a Sabbath every seventh year. They did not do that. Jeremiah had written in chapter 25, verse 11, 29, 10, that the Jewish people had an opportunity to do that, rest the land. They did not, so they would be taken out of the land for 70 years, and the Babylonian leadership did that. The Medo-Persian ruler Cyrus prophesied in the book of Isaiah, chapters 44 and 45, came to power and allowed the Jews to return to the land and rebuild their temple. God using human government. Revelation 17:17 tells us that God will again in the future use human government to accomplish His will. That's what's going on in Iraq, for example. Babylon had to be rebuilt so the Antichrist could go there. It's Revelation chapter 18 set up a worldwide economic, political, governmental system. Indeed, God has used human government. I believe the Bush administration going in and taking out Saddam Hussein to set the stage. Don't care what you think about Bush or the Iraqi war, God using human government, chapter 17 of Revelation, verse 17, to accomplish His will. It's what's happening right now. It's the case in Egypt today. An element that can come to power will set the stage for the alignment of the nations to come against Israel. Ezekiel 38, Daniel chapter 11. In fact, Daniel 11 says Egypt is one of those two nations that will make the first move to try to destroy the Jewish state of Israel. And what we see happening in the streets of Cairo, Egypt, setting that stage. And if it continues to move in a domino effect across the Middle East, all the moderate Arab leaders can be taken out of place, and the fundamentalist, radical Islamists coming to power so that these prophecies can be fulfilled. I say again, God will use human government to accomplish His will. But the next event to happen, no matter what is unfolding before our very eyes, no matter what you're watching on television moment by moment, no matter what politically does take place, the next event that will be fulfilled in Bible prophecy is the rapture of the church. Jesus will shout, the archangel will shout, the trump of God will sound. And then those of us who know Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior will be caught out of this earth into the heavenlies. Listen, my friend, as you've listened to this special edition of Prophecy Today with our team coverage of broadcast partners across the world telling us what's happening, it's evidence that the rapture is about to happen at any moment. And having said that, nothing left for me to say, except let's keep looking up until